like we created that sickness because we wanted something more. And maybe we shouldn't have wanted something more. Maybe we should have just found a way to
Ooh.
make the best of what we had. That's a good one too.
Mm.
Is a sick man the product of a sick society? So the quote that spawned this question was, and this is his words too. He said he's going to make the bold postulation that a man who is thwarted in any of his basic needs may fairly be envisaged simply as a sick man. And then he went on to say, just as if he were lacking vitamins and minerals. And of course, I never thought about it that way, but when you hear that though or read that, it's like it makes a lot of sense that
Does.
people who are not having their needs met, all these needs met, they are sick in a way, but we don't look at it the same way, and we don't give it the same not precedence. What am I trying to say? Like the same priority as we give health. Well, and you know this full well because you're studying mental health issues.
Hmm.
As a society, we don't give mental health issues nearly the same credence that we give to physical issues.
No,
And
definitely.
so
Yeah.
it does make a lot of sense when you think about it. That yeah, if you aren't having your needs met, you are in a way sick. And so then I have another question, kind of a sub question, that if you are settling for an unfulfilling life, is it because that's what society is offering you? Because
Mm.
he said a sick man is a product of a sick society. So if that's all society is offering you are things to increase, not increase isn't the word, but I guess produce the sickness and also to make it last longer.
Mm.
And that's kind of what we've been talking about. Some of the things that society offers you do keep you from meeting your needs.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think we're all sick, and we're just at differing levels of sickness.
Sure.
And some people know they're sick, and other people don't know they're sick.
Well, that's
So,
a good
like,
point. Yeah.
yeah, like I think I think even you and I, like, we like to think we've been on a pretty good journey of self discovery, and
Yeah.
but we're still afflicted by the sickness because we have difficult days
Yeah.
where we because we're human beings, I guess. But I think I think it is because of society. I think it's almost in a way you're like in this toxic fog, right? And like in a way, you kind of almost get this. I don't know. I'm coming up with this on the spot, so I could
Okay.
completely
I'm
fail.
ready. I'm
But
ready.
you're in this fog, say, and then you've got this almost this lantern that's kind of like shining a light around you, right? But then
Yeah.
sometimes that light, that might that flame might extinguish, and then you're back in the fog, and you're like, but the difference is almost like we can kind of get that light back a little bit
Okay.
quicker, maybe, than we could have in the past.
Yeah.
Whereas I think so many people are just in that fog, and there's no way out. They're just stuck in there. They don't even know they're in a fog,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think that's almost where we're at. We are, because we're thwarted in so many ways. Like I'd say, if you're a homeless person, you're
Hmm.
certainly thwarted in the fact that, okay, maybe our systems are not good enough to deal with the housing crisis, or we don't know how to help somebody get back on their feet when they're homeless, or whatever it may be.
Right.
There's that's a sickness in society that certainly needs to be dealt with. But even at the level of people feeling thwarted in all their other needs, like, but
Right.
maybe at a higher level. So I don't know. I want your thoughts on that, because I just had a thought about that then. Think about that then.
About what? About the light?
Well, yeah, just about in general, that we're all sick, because I think we're all
Oh, oh,
sick.
oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. And you know what I was thinking about while you were talking about it? I don't know how much you know about the American Indians. So people who don't know this, so Adam is from Australia. I'm from the United
Yep.
States. So, but like the American Indians were very in touch with, or I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but with the earth, and like they were very community driven, and like they took care of the tribe. Like they would fight each other. I mean, tribes would fight each other, So I mean, there's some sign that they were sick.
Mm.
But I'm thinking of them as being maybe a good example of not being sick, because within their tribe they would take care of each other, they took care of the land. They had their values that they all subscribed to and believed in. And I think what I would picture is, they had their different hierarchies within the tribe, so everybody kind of knew where they fit in. And I mean, I think that's probably about as good of an example of a healthy society as you can get.
Yeah.
And then as you start adding other people to the mix that don't share the same values, of course you're going to become sick. But I don't
Mm.
know that that's necessarily a bad thing. Well, I mean, it's a bad thing in the moment, but really, you think, especially in the United States, and I don't know how it is in Australia, but like the United States, there's so many different nationalities here, all trying to, all different values, all different religions. Like that's why a lot of people come here, is for freedom of religion and freedom to believe what they want to believe. And so
Mm.
you have so many people trying to come together in one society and then all be governed by one government.
Mm.
That's a tall order.
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
really, I don't know if you know who Jon Stewart is. He
No,
hosts
no.
the Daily Show, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
also a
Yep.
stand-up comedian and stuff. But I heard him say this once, and that's where kind of where I'm getting it from. But he is he's saying it's really amazing that we're doing as well as we are when you consider that. And like,
Mm.
really, yeah.
Yeah,
And so
that's true.
I don't know if that. So I mean, I think we've created this sickness ourselves, or our ancestors did, just by wanting, and they see, because they were hungering for something else. Like they had their needs probably all met where they were, except
Yeah.
for, well, they didn't have their. I mean, a lot of people came here because of freedom of religion. Um, so say they didn't have that need met, but I think probably a lot of their other needs were being met. Although that's not always the case either, because a lot of people come to the United States too because just for more opportunity. I don't know. I feel like we created the sickness though because we were wanting something beyond what
Mm.
what our life was offering, or our ancestors. I'm talking now. When I say our, I'm talking about our
That's
ancestors. It's like we created that sickness because we wanted something more, and maybe we shouldn't have wanted something more. Maybe we should have just found a way to
ooh,
make the best of what we had.
that's interesting. I like that. Yeah, it was almost like, because as you said, you're in this tribe, most of your needs are met. You certainly have probably your community needs
Yeah,
or like belonging needs met a lot more so than we have today. And I'm sure you'd have a lot more, a lot less distraction, so more time to probably find out who you are and self-actualize. But then, yeah, like what was it within that tribe or different tribes in general that made everyone want to come together? It's like yeah, we have created that sickness, and now it's so complex we don't know how to
right.
unravel that. We can't go back to being a bunch of tribes,
Well, right.
like
No,
I
exactly.
guess some people do try and do that. They do try and create little tribes
Right.
elsewhere, but it's kind of like we've opened Pandora's box now, and we can't really come back. So I don't know. But I wonder. Like I've always thought about this, right? Which is, it's
Yeah.
like these conditions of society are the most difficult to possibly. How do you get self-actualized? Which we'll talk about a bit more in the next one. But how do you get self-actualized in this, in this society? It's really hard
It is.
because everything is against you. But part of me believes, if we are all part of this consciousness, this stream of consciousness that I've talked about before, I feel these are the best conditions with which to really add knowledge and experience and energy to that consciousness field. Because never have we been tested under such difficult situations. So if you can possibly bust through all that crap that
Yeah.
society's telling you and actually get self-actualized, that's a lot more powerful, I think, than if you were to just get self-actualized in a small tribe. I don't know.
Definitely a lot harder. Yeah, and anything that's harder typically is going to be more valuable in the end.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
All right, I like
All
that.
right, number 4.
Who knew we'd end up there? But that's where we ended up.
I know. I think
All
we're
right.
doing well. We're solving the problems.
Yes, of course. That's what we do here. We solve all the world's problems.